Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Get on your job, tell them haters get on your job, nigga. Motivation, nigga, get on your job, tell them haters get on your job, nigga. Motivation, haters better get on your job, tell them haters get on your job, nigga. Motivation, sucker nigga, get on your job, if you hate, get on your job, nigga.
I just wanted to let you guys know, just in case you didn't see my story, and just in case you're not subscribed to YouTube, I'm going live tonight on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I would like to do a thorough examination, not just of carbonation, but the dynamics of cults as a whole. YouTube is going to be a lot better because it allows me to pull up videos in real time, and we don't have to worry about getting cut off. We don't have to worry about time limits. We don't have to worry about none of that. We can have plenty of audio, plenty of visuals. I want to know you guys' questions, comments, and concerns, just in case there are things that I might have overlooked, things that have not been discussed, questions that have not been answered. And when I say questions, I'm talking about questions pertaining to the psychology of the members. I don't want to get into superficial drama-based things, especially things that have been answered over and over again. I really want to make this a engaging, educational event. I need you guys' input. I need you guys' insight, because y'all ain't no dummies in no sense of the word. If you don't know what time it is where you are, just do it on Google. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to go through 35 different time zones to help you figure out what time it's going to be where you at. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to end up being a cult expert. Possibly, man. I at one point, when I first got out of carbonation, I thought that I wanted to get into psychology. But psychology as a whole, there's certain shit about psychology as a whole that I don't give a fuck about, not interested in. But cults, the fact that I was in one, the fact that the average person has no idea about it, rather than get mad, you know, I feel like everybody gets mad. I'm not saying that getting mad is the issue. I'm just saying, but rather than getting upset and with people and their questions, how about I fucking learn how to answer those questions? Of course, there's going to be people who are just dickbags and just want to keep up mess and drama. But there are people who ask questions who legitimately don't know and legitimately want to know. And it's one thing to, and I have to keep this in mind, it's one thing to get online and look up cults on your own. It's another thing to talk to a motherfucker that was actually in a cult and was there for 4 years, and that you yourself personally have watched go from being in the cult to coming out of it. So I mean, Lisa has tried to get me to realize that shit and see it from that way. But just like in life, we all see things when we're supposed to see them. You understand what I'm saying? But I see how I try to put myself in y'all's shoes, because just being me, I don't think of myself as nothing really. I'm just me. But I have to put myself in y'all's shoes, because I know what it feels like to read something. It's a whole nother thing to be talking to somebody who experienced what it is you're reading about. You cuss me out? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Like, your blood pressure was high. Yeah. Kaya, thank you for that, Kaya. Yeah, Chloe, if you're in the UK, I'm Eastern Standard Time, United States. So I don't know how far the UK is ahead. If it's 7 o'clock, it might be fucking 12 o'clock in the UK. I don't know. What time is it now? Hell, I don't know. Have you seen the documentary The Way Down? No, the last documentary I watched pertaining to cult dynamics is The Program. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I really have a tendency not to fuck with documentaries outside of Netflix, because just in my opinion, Netflix production is top tier. They do a phenomenal job. Like, even Netflix and Hulu did a documentary on the same group, and Hulu's documentary, in my opinion, was ass compared to what Netflix did and how they delivered the story about the exact same group of people. Oh, damn, it's 10 o'clock there? That's crazy. Okay, Sage, appreciate that. But I know probably the number one question is documented on the Remnant Church. I'll check it out, Diana. Appreciate you letting me know about it. The Way Down. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Probably the most prevalent question, the most fucking mind-bending question, is how do people allow this to happen? How do people even get?
Now, for the folks who are still questioning, like, how could this happen? I want you to kind of think about somebody in a DV situation, right? They stay, even though they know they're not supposed to be there, even though they know the relationship is not healthy for them. And I'm not trying to compare a cult member to someone in a DV relationship, but they're pretty doggone close. The gaslighting, the triangulation, the control that's exerted, it's very similar to being in a cult. So I don't really question how this could happen. I'm just happy that the ex-carbonation members who got out are out and living their own life independently. And I keep hope alive for Eferu, Aya, Zoka, Malia, Jax, and Juju, Aja, and Aver. I just keep hope alive for them.
This to happen. How do people even get to this point? How does somebody go from being I guess you say, a normal person to being completely indoctrinated to the point where people have been known to kill, people have been known to commit suicide? How? So I want to look at that. You understand what I'm saying? I want for those who actually give a shit, we're gonna look at that. If y'all want me to examine older videos, this nigga got like 1,000 fucking videos on YouTube, so I'm not about to go through all them shits. But if there's any particular video or time period in carbonation that I was present for, because I can't speak on shit about melanation, I wasn't there. But if there's any particular video or time period that stands out in your mind that I was present for, if it's appropriate, we can discuss it. Because in the video, tonight on YouTube, I would like to highlight certain things about Carbon Nation. Like they have inconsistencies on their own YouTube channel. But it's not about no fucking knowledge at this point. I already know that, but it's whatever y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to any type of suggestions as well. I'm open to any recommendations as to what direction y'all want to go in. But I'm going to start the video off with answering probably the most fucking agonizing question is, how do these things happen? The Dr. Bishop. Okay, so the Dr. Bishop thing. Okay, we can look at the Dr. Bishop thing. Like, I'm to a point now where I'm not bothered by re-examining the experience. In my opinion, your ability to be able to review and relive certain experiences shows how well and to what degree you have been able to deal with those experiences. So, Miss Lynette, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I hope you come over there, because whatever it is that sticks out in your mind or is something that you feel like is at the forefront of your mind, let me know. We on YouTube. We have the ability to easily go to that video, because I know where the fuck that shit at. Like, the way the videos are organized, I can tell where we were at, what we were doing, what area, you know, what country, what was going on. I can find the video easily. So yeah, we should be able to do that. And I know that there was a point that I was kind of reluctant to talk about other people in the cult, because I felt like, you know, I wanted to be respectful of them and stuff like that. But to me, I'm at a point where I'm not talking about this shit for views or clicks. I'm talking about this because it needs to be talked about. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, you have people who think that just because he was convicted that it's over. Let somebody kill your son, or let somebody do something tragic to your family member, and then let a motherfucker tell you when it's over. It should be over for you because you watched this shit. It's not ever gonna be over for me because I lived this shit. You have to understand that difference. Of course, it's easy for you to suggest that I be over it and move on because you didn't live it. You watched it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue to talk about this shit for as long as I feel like it. Yes, Miss Lindette. We can examine those things. I don't want to take up too much time on people's requests because I know that there may be a lot of them. And, you know, it easily can turn into 2 hours, 3 hours. But that's fine with me. That's why I'm starting at 7 o'clock. So that, you know, if it goes 2 hours, 3 hours, it'll still be a reasonable time for those on the East Coast as well as those on the West Coast. And for those who can't stay the entire duration, it'll be saved on YouTube underneath the live video section. But I definitely look forward to seeing you guys over there and all of your input, all of your suggestions, all of your questions, all of your comments, all of that shit. And also, guys, I want to let you know, be on the lookout for people who, you know, just want to come over there and be rude and messy and nasty. I encourage you not to engage with those people, and simply we'll just remove them from the room, and then we'll keep moving forward, because it's such a waste of time to give our energy to people who are just there because for whatever reason they just want to be a disturbance or they don't have anything better to do. Exactly, Miss Creighton. Me and Kendra was having this discussion, as it pertains to people who like to tell us, it's over. Why y'all still talking about Nature Boy? You clearly ain't got nothing going on with your life. But I told myself, I said, let it have been your daughter, and then let me know if you would give a fuck about somebody telling you how much involvement you should have in something that directly affected you. And, another thing me and Kendra talked about was, people's suggestion as far as, nobody's a victim, people knew what they was getting into, or, the very, very spiritual people like to say that, I attracted this to me. And I think about those types of statements, and sometimes the spiritual people can really be ass wipes. They can really be emotionally unavailable, because if somebody told you, hey man, my mother got cancer and the doctor said that she probably got 3 to 6 months to live. Nobody would ever think to say, well, she attracted that to her in some type of way. Like, nobody says that stupid ass shit. So get the fuck out of here. And I'm glad you said that, Richie. Me and Kendra also talked about victim. It seems as if some people have a problem with that word victim. You can't stop or choose whether or not you were a victim. If you're sitting in your car and somebody comes up to you with a gun and say, get the fuck out, and you get the fuck out and they drive off, you don't get to choose whether or not you was a victim. You were a victim of armed robbery, nigga. You don't get to choose whether or not you was a victim. Like, motherfuckers have a real problem with that word victim. It's not something that you get to. If you're gone on vacation and you come back and your fucking door's kicked in and your stuff is gone, you're a victim of burglary. You don't get to choose that shit. Like, motherfuckers just be saying shit and don't be thinking that shit all the way through. I've done it, and I'm learning not to latch on to shit just because it sounds good, but try to look at it from.
Hey guys, I am back with yet another amazing book, The Tribe of Judah Experience, authored by Elizabeth, aka Liz. Guys, if you're interested in being one of the first people to get this book, it is available for pre-order now. All you have to do is go to Liz's IG page, which is here on the screen right now. Click on the link in her bio, and it will take you directly to Amazon.com so you could go ahead and get on the pre-order list today.
Shit just because it sounds good, but try to look at it from a whole, complete perspective, because it's easy to get wrapped up into what sounds good, not really looking at what it is that you're fucking saying. You understand what I'm saying? If you're walking down the street and somebody punches you in your face randomly, you were a victim of assault. You don't get to walk away and say, oh, no, I wasn't a victim. Motherfucker, yes, you were. I don't know. It's just, I think it's something with people. I guess they think that being a victim means you're dumb or you're weak or something. Man, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I think I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna act like I didn't see that. I feel like people want to run away from negative feelings instead of actually giving them the attention they need to be processed properly. That's possible, Portland. I like that analysis. I really do. I like that. I think that some people may not be emotionally mature enough to accept what it is that they're feeling. Rather, they latch on to these, positive feelings and these feelings of upliftment. Don't be a victim, be a victor. Like, motherfucker, you can't help it if you were a victim. I think what people are confusing with being a victim, I think they're saying, if something happens to you, you may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for moving forward. You can still be a victim and move forward. Like, I don't know why people think that, if something happens to you, you're a victim of that 50 years later. You're still a victim. But being a victim does not mean that your life stops. It does not mean that you can't move forward. If you were married 20 years ago and a man hit you with a baseball bat, you are still a victim of domestic violence. What the fuck are people talking about? That's why you get to be in the conversation. You ever heard somebody who ended up being in an abusive situation, moving on to being a domestic violence counselor? Even if the situation happened 15 years ago, they will say, I too am a victim of domestic violence. But being a victim of domestic violence does not mean that this person was not able to move forward with their life and do other things. Exactly, Richie. Exactly. Sometimes I catch myself about to be like minutely frustrated, and then like I have like this little thing where it's like I just laugh because it's like it's not even worth the time to be irritated. Or you could say survivor. Yeah, you could say survivor. Yeah, you could say survivor, Randall. Definitely, you could say survivor. Whatever. I guess it's whatever.
That's exactly how I prefer to refer to the X carbonation members. I prefer to refer to them as survivors, all of them, regardless of where they are in their healing process. Yeah, they definitely are survivors.
Definitely, you could say survivor. Whatever. I guess it's whatever makes the person feel better. But I just noticed that people seem to think that victim and weak are interchangeable. When they're not. It's not interchangeable. You're not weak for getting robbed. You're not weak for getting abused. Like, the person that did the abusing is actually weak. The person that robbed you is actually the one that's weak. The person that assaulted you is actually the one that's weak. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting how I noticed that people seem to think that those words have the same meaning. Victim and weak. It don't have no, Porterland, sometimes, I'm learning to accept that some people just don't give a fuck. They're going to believe what they want to believe, regardless of any contradictory evidence, no matter how credible it may be, no matter how valid it may be. What's going on, Slim? Some people are going to believe what the fuck they want to believe, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you show them. So I am only interested in talking to the people who have a degree of open-mindedness and to the point where we can look at concepts and ideas outside of our emotions. Some people have an inability to look at things outside of what fits best with how they want to feel about the situation. No matter what you show them, some people will just hate white people. No matter what you show them, some people will just hate black people. No matter what you show them, there are people who will think that there's no good men out here, that there's no women out here. No matter what you show them, there are people who will think that the government is trying to kill us. No matter what you show them, there are people who think that veganism is the greatest diet on the fucking planet. It doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. With so much information available on the internet, I can reinforce almost any belief system with a study from this person, with research from that school. You might as well not even waste your time. No matter what you show them, there are people who will think that getting married is stupid. There's people who swear up and down that going to college is stupid. There's people that swear up and down about any and every fucking thing. And I'm not even trying to enter into that type of battle. As soon as you show me that you have no intention of discussing ideas, but you want to prove your point and that you are already convinced as to how the world goes and how things are, I'm not about to engage with you. I'm not about to waste my fucking calories trying to shift a mind that is already firm in its beliefs. I don't have time for that, man. I don't have time for that. You believe whatever the hell you want to believe, man. Oh, it's called confirmation bias. I want to look into that. Confirmation bias. I'm going to look into that. Can y'all see the thumbs up when I do it, or is it just on my screen? Can y'all see all that? Okay, y'all do see it. Got it. Okay. Okay, you seen the balloons. Great. Okay. So yeah, guys, but I'm not gonna say too much on here. I hope to see y'all tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And let's have a good time with it. I hope that we can learn something. I hope that we can examine as much as possible and just continue to understand this situation for what it is, because, you know, it's all good. It's funny. It's a joke, you know, until, you know, somebody, you know, find themselves not necessarily in a cult, but finds themselves in a manipulative situation, potentially even with just one person. But yeah. See y'all tonight on YouTube, all right? Peace. Netflix is not having that shit. What's going on?
Interested in a great read? Check out Greatness is a Habit authored by Aaron Dixon, also known as True. Many of you know him as True. He has authored this amazing read. The book is available on Apple Books. Get your copy today and stay motivated to win.
Netflix is not having that shit. What's going on, City Girl? Netflix ain't having that shit, man. I tried to go live on Instagram. StreamYard was fucking up. And in addition to that, Netflix won't even allow you to use their content in order to even do a commentary over it, which is understandable. They do a lot of hard work to produce their content, and I don't blame them for going the extra mile to prevent people from stealing it, because it's not uncommon for people to have entire channels based upon what other people are doing. And so I wasn't able to do that. No, you're good, Jacobs. What's up, Trucking 40s? You're good, Jacobs. I started it at 7, but we was having too many technical difficulties with StreamYard, in addition to me playing a Netflix video that I thought was available for fair use. Ended up violating, I guess, one of YouTube's policies and whatnot. So I just ended the live and deleted the video because I don't want to accumulate any types of strikes on my YouTube channel. But what I'll do is, one thing I realized, who was it? There was somebody I was watching. Oh, I was watching this guy give a lecture at a college, and I had seen one of his interviews prior, and he said some of the same things that he said in his interview in the lecture. So I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have to repeat myself, because I can't assume that people have heard everything I've ever said, regardless of how many times I've said it. And so when it comes to this carbonation thing, just like anything else, repetition is usually a complementary component when it comes to mastering anything or just becoming better at anything. It's largely the same things over and over again. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to provide commentary on the Netflix video, but if you guys have Netflix, if you don't, I'm sure you can subscribe to it. Most people do have it. There's a documentary on Netflix. It's about 30 minutes long. It's called Cults Explained. Matter of fact, you don't even have to get Netflix just for that. That'll be stupid. The video is on YouTube, and as well as it's on my channel. When you subscribe to my channel, the trailer video will change from my song to the Netflix documentary, or the Netflix episode rather, about cults. And it's really good. It paints a clear picture. It answers a lot of the questions that many people have concerning cult dynamics. But one of the things that one lady answered, and I guess it broke up, and I'm just gonna keep saying this over and over again. She said, I'm pinning something real quick, y'all, give me a second. She said that I said cult 101. Hold on. She said that she understands why people join cults, but what she didn't understand is, why do people stay after they see the bullshit? And what I realize I'm gonna have to keep reinforcing to people is that you watched carbonation from the comfort of your home whenever the fuck it was convenient for you to do so. I was living the shit you were watching, and I'm trying to relay that understanding to people with a common analogy. And that common analogy is, it's like being a spectator in the stands watching a player on the field or on the court. I don't know if any of you are current or former athletes, but it doesn't matter, because I'm sure you can grasp what it is I'm about to relay to you. When you're in the stands, you have a completely different vantage point than the person who's on the field or on the court. And while you're in the stands as a fan and as a spectator, you are not subject to the same stressors and pressures as the person on the court and on the field. When you're a spectator in the stands, you're just sitting there drinking your fucking drink casually, eating your popcorn, your food, or your candy, and you're viewing the game in a way that the person you're watching can't. Because when you're on a football team, you are on a field. You can't see from the high angle that a spectator can. You can't see the full field like a spectator can. And you're also being pursued by other team members, but by the opposing team who's trying to hit you. Something the spectator's not experiencing. Even in basketball, when you're playing basketball, people in the stands be trying to ask you why you didn't pass it to that person, why you didn't shoot it. Well, because it's fucking 5 other dudes out here. They got their hand in my face. They're bumping me. They're pushing me. All I have to think about dribbling the ball and not losing the ball. So there's a lot of factors that a person in the stand does not have to deal with that the person in the game does. And so what I'm trying to convey to you is that I was in the game. I was in carbonation. You was watching me the same way you're watching me now, on your phone or on your laptop. The things you saw may have been out of my viewpoint, out of my peripherals, or out of my field of view, because I was living what it is you were casually watching whenever it was convenient for you. And that's a very good analogy too. Thank you for that, Zomister. A coach can't lead the team while also playing. You understand what I'm saying? I did not see some of the things you saw because I was living what you were watching. If that makes any sense, I hope that is simple and clear enough. You understand what I'm saying? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. And to really summarize that question, I don't even know why I was even taking the long route. The easiest way to answer the question as to why do people join cults? People don't join cults. People join groups that sell themselves to be something that is positive and is in the best interest of the person looking to join. Just like NXIVM. In NXIVM, Keith Raniere had a group that was sold to women as a empowerment group. It was a women's empowerment group. That's what they were told. But what it actually was a group called DOS, D-O-S, Dominus Obsequious Sororium, which in Latin stands for master over female slave. How many of you in the room, mostly females, how many of y'all would be interested, and just bear with me, you don't have to be so literal with what I'm about to ask you, but how many of you would be interested in a female empowerment group? That sounds pretty innocent. That sounds like something that could benefit you. Now, who would join a group whose motto is master over female slave? I don't think none of you would join a group whose motto is master over female slave. But how many women...
Okay, everyone, I have some really exciting news. Janae's book, Lesson Learned, is now available on Amazon.com. The paperback version is $25.55 and the hardcover is $47.90. So you can actually pick her book up on Amazon.com today.
Master over female slave. But how many women do you know? Fuck that. How many people do you know speak Latin? Do you know anybody that speak Latin? Most people you know speak only English and barely can speak that shit. And they might know Spanish. So to look at people and ask yourself, why would they join that group? I understand. But you have to understand that no cult promotes themselves as they are. And I saw on my wife's page, without deception, nobody would join a cult. Nobody would join a cult. So when you want to know why do people join cults, they don't. They join groups that they believe align with their beliefs and interests and is of benefit to them. That's what happens. And why do people stay in cults? They cannot see what you see because they are living what you are watching. And even simpler than that, each and every one of us have been in a situation where we did not see the situation for what it was at the time while it was going on. But later, when we was able to look back, hindsight, I heard this statement that said that hindsight is always 20/20. When we look back, think about it. I like to use the relationship narrative the best. How many of you, while you was with your baby daddy, you thought he was something? Looking back, you realize he wasn't shit. It ain't even got to be your baby daddy. Just an unsuccessful relationship, a failed relationship. How many of you have been subject to manipulation and deception or abuse in a relationship, didn't see it while it was going on, but when you got out the relationship, got around some other people, got around some better people, you was able to see what that person was doing to you later on? And I know that people think that, nah, you can't compare a relationship to a cult, man. Like, how did you not see that? Well, I'm going to keep telling you that you would have to live the situation in order to fully understand what it's like. I like to use this example. Anybody in here a mother? Shout out to the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Is anybody in here a mother? Mama Earthy is a mother. Trucking 40s. How would you know that? How would you know that? How would you know that even if they was watching it, how do you know that they saw what you saw? It defeats the point. It defeats the point of what you have no way of determining. Even if me, for example, Trucking 40s, me and you can watch the same thing and see two different things. Me and you can hear the same thing and hear two different things, depending upon who we are as people. I guarantee there's something that you are unaware of that somebody else can see a mile away. Okay, so for example, back to the mothers, right? The mothers out there, for those that acknowledged it and those that are listening, you can write down what it's like to be pregnant. You can tell me what it's like to be pregnant. You can draw what it's like to be pregnant. You can try to formulate what it's like to be pregnant the best way you can. But I will never know what that's like. You can't transfer something like that to me because it is an experience. You have to experience certain things in order to actually know what it's like. How could you possibly transfer to me what it's like to carry another human being inside your body? I will never know what it's like to be pregnant, no matter how much research I do, because I cannot have the experience. But these niggas probably working on it. What is it like to be in a fight? You can't transfer that. You have to be in one yourself. What's it like to have kids? You can't really transfer that shit. You have to have one. There's certain things in life that cannot be fucking transferred and understood intellectually through a book, through a podcast, through a song. There's certain things that if you have not experienced it yourself, you will not know what it's like. Have you ever tried to explain to somebody who's never smoked weed before what it's like to get high? You can't. You can't. You can't. You did not know. You thought, how many of you thought you knew what you was getting into before you smoked weed? The first time you smoked weed, how many of you were confident that you knew that you was going to be okay? And then your ass got sent to fucking Pluto and didn't know what the hell was going on. That's another example I'm going to use. Getting high for the first time. You can't transfer that shit to nobody. You can't write that shit down in a book. You can't explain that to nobody through an intellectual means. The first time you smoked weed, you didn't know what you can, nigga. Everything people was talking about. Everybody you talk to, trying to get an understanding intellectually what it's like to get high. It did not remotely compare to your experience. Even getting drunk for the first time. When you got drunk for the first time, that was not what you thought it was going to be. Exactly, Mama Earthy. Exactly. So a lot of people like to grasp onto this idea. They really have it tight. Like, y'all knew what y'all was getting into. I'll be trying to tell people, man. I don't believe nobody that came to carbonation knew what they was really getting into. I feel that if people knew what they were really getting into, they wouldn't have never joined. And I don't think people actually saw what it was they was in until they finally decide to leave for the last time. Even the people that left and came back, the reason they came back is because they probably didn't understand. Just like in a relationship. How many of you have left a relationship, said it's over, and then went back, and then said it was over, and then went back, and then said it was over? You didn't really mean, or you really didn't understand what it was you was leaving until you left for the last time. All of those other times, you were just playing around. You didn't know. And people, like, I've seen that before. They left and they came back, so they knew what they doing. And some of them folks done left and came back in their own life, but won't hold themselves to that same standard. Well, shit, we can't say shit about you then. I mean, you can't say shit about nobody then, because if you look at your life, you have left and came back from shit too. But I noticed, man, people have a tendency to criticize others according to a standard that they don't apply to their own self. I'm not fazed by that shit at all, man. I'm not fazed. I know people be playing these little games on the internet because the only thing you have to put forth is your profile picture and your carefully curated life on the internet, and you get to exempt all of the other things that if they were brought forth, it would paint a different picture about who you're attempting to portray yourself on the internet. So I ain't tripping, man. I see that a lot. People on the internet and possibly in life for real, they will criticize other people according to a standard that they don't adhere to. I'm not tripping, bro. I'm not tripping, because I guarantee the same measures that people are using to judge the people who left carbonation, I can find a situation in which they are doing identical things. It may not be underneath the same circumstances, but the basis in which you are judging me, I guarantee I can find a behavior in which you're doing the same thing. You might not have a cult leader like Nature Boy, but there's people are in a relationship, they boyfriend and girlfriend tell them what the fuck to do and when to do it and what, you understand what I'm saying? But they're not putting that out front, and nobody will never know. But they are very adamant about tearing somebody else down or criticizing somebody else. And I want to look into, where did I saw it on a video. This guy said that people who have a heightened tendency to criticize are doing so from a space of lack, because they are criticizing other people in an attempt to help reduce that person down to the level in which they feel about themselves. And I was like, that shit fly. That shit fly. So when you start understanding why people do things, you start being unfazed by the things people do. That shit don't bother me at all, man. When people try to reduce you down, they're only doing so to pull you to a level in which they feel comfortable about their own self. I'm not tripping, man. I'm not tripping, because I guarantee that if I take your life and put it in on display in the same fashion that mine was, I would see similar. You probably wouldn't even be in a position to criticize. But the anonymity of the internet allows people to do that. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, Coco. We all got some shit we need to work on, and and honestly, maybe we don't got shit to work on. Maybe this is just who we are as humans, and we feel like we have to undo what we already are. And you know, especially with the internet and social media, some people have created this false platform in which they are trying to convey this idea to other people that they have achieved a status or a level that was attained through some type of hard work. But I think a lot of that shit is bullshit, man. I don't look at no human being, no man or woman, as above me. No matter how gifted or talented you are, I don't give a shit. I know that what you're putting out is not the full picture of who you are as a person, and you don't have to, because that's you don't have to put out your whole life to the world. Honestly, I'm in a space. I get what Tupac was saying, like, only God can judge me, and that's I think that everybody should live like that. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you're doing some fucked up shit, then damn that, nigga, your ass getting judged in the court of law. I'm talking about as it pertains to these little petty boundaries that people try to keep us in, trying to tell us how we need to raise our kids, telling us what we need to eat, telling us what we need to wear, all of that superficial shit like that. Fuck people. You know, some people might not like me because I use profanity, but I had to realize the only reason that I'm not using profanity in the public eye or around certain people is because I am caring what they think about me. But I had to realize this is how I talk. There are other people who talk like that. And if you are not going to fuck with me because I use certain selection of words, then I would rather you not fuck with me than to censor myself on your behalf. I can't do that shit no more, man. I was in the Army, nigga, for 8 years. We don't give a fuck about no damn cussing words because that's not our mission. Our mission is not to be fucking polite or nice or kind to anyone. But that doesn't mean we abuse people and disrespect people either. But it's just not a focal point that is worth the energy of paying attention to. So that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm at in life. When I look at the grand scheme of things, as long as you're not breaking the law, I don't give a fuck what color your hair is. I don't care for you. church. I don't care if you believe in Jesus or not. I don't care what kind of brand shoes you wear. I don't care what you eat. A lot of shit we try to adjust ourselves to fit to other people and get them to be pleased with us and get them to like us is a waste of time. Because for the most part, they're not worth the energy. And for the second part, they don't give a fuck anyway. Now, if I'm in your house, then I have to respect your rules. But I'm chilling on my Instagram page, so I'm going to use the word selection that I feel most comfortable with using. And if people don't like it, they have the ability to turn it off. But I won't impede on anybody else's boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? I respect people's boundaries. But I'm going to be me because, nigga, I'm 35 years old. The fuck I look like being 50 years old, still caring about what people think about me. And there's not even any type of guarantee that I'll even make it to 50 in the first place. I don't give a shit. I really don't, man. And it is such a liberating thing. It is such a liberating thing to not really give a shit. Like, and by not give a shit, what I mean is, at least for me, when I say I don't give a shit, what I mean is I'm okay with me. I'm okay with me enough to be okay with you not being okay with me. I'm so okay with me that I'm okay with you not being okay with me. I've said this before. I much rather prefer to disappoint you than to disappoint myself. That's just where I'm at right now. And this shit has moved way on from Cults 101 and why do people join. I'm glad I did this. I'm kind of glad that the StreamYard did not work because I put in about hours worth of my time on some shit that I could have explained in like 5 minutes. I'm realizing that, and I should have been fucking remembered this, and I'm gonna start applying this more in my life, is that more is not synonymous with better. More is not synonymous with better. A longer video doesn't mean a better video. I feel like less is more and quality over quantity, man. So I'm getting better at this shit. I'm gonna be, if I end up being a cult expert, I don't know if that's something that you set out to do or if it's something that kind of happens. But if I end up being a cult expert, whether that be intentionally or unintentionally, I'm going to be a different type of cult expert. I'm gonna be different. I'm going to be completely different. Like, I'm not going to have the suits and the ties and, you know, I'm not going to be Rick Allen Ross because I'm not Rick Allen Ross. Me and him have a whole different set of experiences. And my group, what is unique about Carbonation, about the cult, is that it was primarily niggas. Yeah, exactly. This is Miss Tammy. I just call you Tammy. I don't know why I read the whole thing. Yeah, Tammy, exactly. I would argue that firsthand experience trumps knowledge and research attained through other means. Like, do you think, you know, like I like to make it like this, right? Boxer A and Boxer B. Boxer A read books and watched videos on how to fight. Boxer B can't read, but the nigga has been in 800 fights. Who you going with? The nigga that can recite all of the boxing moves, jabs, hooks, straight, cross, or the nigga that has no idea what none of that shit mean, but he's been in 800 fights. And so I'm learning as one, and thank you for that too, Kim Cherie. Shout out to A. Marie, that boy named Big Nigga One, Kaya, and everybody else in the room. Shout out to y'all. I see y'all in here. One thing I learned being in Carbonation is that it doesn't matter how intellectual you are. That don't mean shit. Intellectual and knowledgeable are not the same thing. There's people who are knowledgeable, very knowledgeable about shit, and they don't have no formal training. Y'all know that nigga that got all them cars. I don't know if y'all from the country or not. If you from New York, if you from up north and shit like that, in the city, you probably don't resonate with this. But if you from the country or have been in the country, y'all know that nigga that got a bunch of cars in his yard, ain't never been to school, ain't got no certifications, but this nigga know how to fix every goddamn thing just by fucking around with the cars. And so this is not to discredit formal education or training. I'm just saying that there's there's some people out here who convey intelligence. They speak well and they don't know what the fuck they talking about. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. They can tell you about every study. They can tell you about what they read. They can tell you about what they heard. They can tell you about what they watched, but they don't know shit. And that is two different things. It's like somebody who has no kids, but they swear they can tell you about what you need to do as a parent. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. They just done read a book. But there's a woman out there, like my grandmother, for example, that done had fucking 12 kids that could probably tell you more about children than a motherfucker that's a child specialist with a degree. You understand what I'm saying? So, me personally, I think that the nature of the internet has caused some people to value information over experience, and they're not the same. Just because a nigga can spew out and recite what he memorized, that has no bearing on what he knows. To be able to recite and to be able to recall information is not the same as being knowledgeable. It does not mean the same thing. It does not. And so I am no longer impressed by people who can speak well. That's why I tell people, just because I can talk well, that does not mean that I'm smart. I am stupid as shit. I don't really know shit other than fucking military and fucking cults, nigga. That's it. That's it, nigga. Everything else, I'm just, nigga, I don't know shit, nigga. I don't really know shit. I do not feed into that because people have a tendency to cast things upon you that have no validity to who you actually are as a person. Have y'all ever looked at somebody in the face and they look mean as hell? But then you talk to them and you realize, oh shit, nigga, that's just your damn face.
I ain't even finna hold y'all. I promise you, sometimes perfect strangers, like complete strangers, that come up to me and be like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" And they're like, "Oh no, your face. You look upset." I'm like, "No," but that's just the way my face is set up, yo. It's like I be looking like I'm really angry about something, but I'm not. When people ask me, I'll be like, "Nah, I'm okay," and we can strike up a conversation. But at face value, people really be like, "Oh, stay away from her."
Oh shit, nigga, that's just your damn face. That's just your damn face. Shit. You think I'm really smart because I can talk well. I'm not smart, nigga. Let me tell y'all the truth. Nigga, I cheated in school. I cheated. Okay? To all my family members who thought I was smart, I cheated. Okay? I cheated. And y'all can't take the shit back now. I graduated in 2007. I cheated, okay? I cheated. And by cheated, I mean I found different ways to pass the exam. I found different ways to pass the exam, nigga. I'm not about to do this shit the hard way. I realized that you fuckers only care about me passing tests and quizzes. But that is not a confirmation on how well somebody knows the information. It's just confirmation on their ability to fucking look at somebody else's paper or either their ability to recall and memorize. School is not a measurement of intelligence in and of itself. Now, I didn't have to look at nobody's paper. I just remembered shit. I just found unique ways to remember shit. And once I passed the test, I threw that shit out my fucking mind. I caught on. I was like, oh, this is just about the grades. This is just about the grades. They're not gonna test me later on again on the same shit. I just need to pass the test. I like that, Blue Custom. It's not an absolute fact. It's not an absolute truth, but I like the way you put that. A degree is not always, because people swear up and down, oh, he has a master's degree. He has a PhD, so he must be, oh, no, that don't mean shit. That just mean that nigga know how to finish shit. That's what I think degrees really say to employers. People think that you get a degree and it says, oh, you're so smart, come work for us. And no, to me, what it says, I think it says to employers, oh, this nigga finished shit. This nigga finished shit. So, really ain't no difference between a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. It's like, nigga, you finished more shit. That's it. Basically, you finished more shit than me. Basically, you finished shit. And that's what we need. We need niggas that finish shit. In college, in high school, do they ask you for your GPA? No, they don't give a shit. They say, did you finish? Them niggas don't care. Them niggas do not care. Like, what was your GPA in high school? They don't give a fuck. You right there with the motherfucker that got a 1.9 and you got a 4.0. Y'all niggas the same. Did you finish high school? Come on in, nigga. You finished, right? Okay, you finished. That's what we looking for. We need niggas that finish. We don't need, did you finish? Okay, come on. Shit, nigga, did you finish high school? They don't ask you about were you summa cum laude? Were you valedictorian? I looked at valedictorians like, y'all niggas working way too hard. Y'all niggas working way too hard to accomplish the same shit. But what did it for me? I'm going to tell y'all what changed my life. Fucking Spark Notes. When I found out about Spark Notes, that shit changed my life. I was like, let me take this Coach 101 shit. We ain't talking about it no more. Spark Notes changed my goddamn life. I was like, oh, you niggas done summarized this long ass book into something digestible that I actually want to read, and I can pass the test. Spark Notes. Niggas be like, man, this book, damn, we gotta read this book. I was like, yeah, we do gotta read this book, don't we? Spark Notes the fuck out this shit. And let it be a book that be one of them old Shakespeare shit where the nigga talking crazy and you gotta figure out what the hell he trying to say. Spark Notes, nigga. Spark Notes. I be in class like with the teacher like, yup, I know exactly what the hell you talking about, and I know exactly what happened in this story thanks to Spark Notes. Niggas looking, oh my God, he's so brilliant. I think the most brilliant people are the laziest fuckers on the planet because they always looking for ways. They always looking for another way to do shit. That's the irony of it all. Like, I think the most intelligent people are the laziest bastards on the planet. And laziness gets a bad rap. Laziness make you come up with easier ways to do shit that everybody else is okay with the hard way. I don't like the hard way. I don't like the difficult way. I accepted that. I had to step away from that hustle culture bullshit. Because hustle culture make you feel like you ain't shit if you ain't getting up at 3 o'clock. Hustle culture make you feel like shit if you ain't dead tired every day. Hustle culture be making you feel like, oh, you relaxing, nigga? Nigga, I haven't relaxed since 1999. That's why I'm a billionaire. I told myself that the next time I go to sleep, it's gonna be when I'm dead. I'd be like, God damn, bro, I'm not trying to live that life, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, dog. Give me the fucking easy way. People be talking about hard work, hard work. I don't think it's in human nature to do hard work. That's where all these robots and shit coming from. Niggas is looking for the easy way. Niggas is looking for the easy way, for real. Crazy. Bridget, what's going on? Why is it so fucking hot in Georgia? God dang. That's not sweat. That's that natural grease that come out your skin. I forgot what it's called. But it was nice talking to y'all.
Gotta get on your job, tell them. Haters, get on your job, nigga. Motivation. Nigga, get on your job, tell them. Haters, get on your job, nigga. Motivation. Haters better get on your job, tell them. Haters, get on your job, nigga. It's motivation. Suck a nigga, get on your job. If you hate, get on your job, nigga. You can look me in my eyes, see I'm ready for whatever. Anything don't kill me, make me better. I ain't dead, nigga. You can take the fame and the cheddar and the game and the deal. I'm still a go-getter. Take my freedom for the moment, but it ain't forever. I got the spirit of a god, heart of a dope dealer. I'm a king, seen hanging with some cold killers. I ain't never backed down or ran from no nigga. I ain't sat down yet. Here I stand to gorilla. Even if I'm all alone, I stand at 4 niggas. Tell them jump. Dipping, they don't get no realer. 5'9" with the soul of a 6'4" nigga. I separated the fakes, paralyzed from the waist down. From the real stand-up guys of the A-town. Can't even look me in my eyes, put your face down. I'm out of jail, nigga, what you gotta say now? Niggas faking only gonna inspire.